If you're looking for oceanfront property on an elevated lot with insane ocean views and a huge back patio, welcome to 310 East Oceanfront in Newport Beach, listed by Gabe Cole with Real Broker. Let's go inside and take a look. Gabe.
Hey, Robert.
What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, bro.
Thanks for having us today. Awesome property.
Welcome to 310 East Oceanfront.
Thank you, man. Yeah. So why don't you tell us a few features of this home that you absolutely love?
Gosh, that's a tough question because there's so many things. One, you're right here on the boardwalk overlooking the ocean at Newport Beach, right? So that is the first thing. But what I really love about this property and makes it unique is that it's an elevated lot. As you walk down the boardwalk, you're gonna see most of the lots are about 3 to 4 feet lower than us, right? And so when the developer built this house in 2014, they actually raised everything, and it makes a huge difference because you can actually see the ocean from your front patio and from the kitchen and from the inside of the house. Most of the homes you're gonna see sand.
I noticed that walking up that I couldn't even see the ocean, but right when I walked up those stairs and turned around, I see it all. That's the magic.
Yeah. Some of the other things I love about this property are it's got an enormous front yard, right? Facing the beach and facing the ocean. A lot of the homes, especially the newer builds, they push out further and you really have just a very small patio space. But here you can see you've got a fire pit, an entertaining area, another full table to entertain, and then you've got the built-in barbecue over there. So like you can come here, you can have your friends come, they can be playing on the sand, playing volleyball right there, going down for a swim or a surf, but you have so much entertaining space in this yard here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, the house is fully automated. So it's got probably one of the best audio visuals that I've seen in this property. Everything is automated, from the blinds, from the audio, to the speakers, to the security cameras. Everything can be controlled by the iPhone. When the owner is not home, he can be checking on the cameras, checking up on the property, raising the blinds, so it looks like someone's home. Like everything is integrated into this house.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to be here. We're gonna go take a tour, and then I'd love to meet up with you after and talk about who the perfect buyer is for this property.
Perfect.
Sounds good?
Yeah, let me know what you think.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gabe.
All right.
All right, crew, so before we go in, let me open these pocket doors and show you the indoor-outdoor living space, because that is something that people who live out here absolutely love. And before we go in, just check this out. Look how big this is. It's huge. It's basically double the size of a typical back patio for these types of properties. And the reason why that happens is because the street stays the same in terms of its perpendicular status, but the boardwalk curves to the right. So as it curves, this property gets to benefit from this huge back patio. And again, just to remind you what Gabe said, none of these lots here are elevated, but this one has a 3-foot elevation and you can actually see the ocean. Let's go inside and take a look at the rest of this property. So I already feel that coastal vibe. It feels so nice. It feels so fresh. You've got this open living space. You've got this huge living room, beautiful dining area, and then follow me into the kitchen. One thing I like, this property was built in 2014, so it may not look like the brand new construction that some of the videos we create show like, but the natural stone is a really elegant touch. I love kind of the stone wash look on the cabinets. I love the two-tone. There's some darker features, there's some lighter features. Really warm environment. All state-of-the-art appliances, beautiful fixtures, everything you need. You've got a nice little wine rack here. You got some drink storage here, and then you got convenient laundry. Now, you'll see a few steps here. And the reason why those steps are here is because, again, the pad was elevated by about 3 feet. So to be able to go down into the garage, you take a few steps down. You got a nice powder room down here with all the essentials for when you have company. And then you got a nice garage here that is right now being stored. It's storing a lot of the cellar stuff. But I want to show you one cool feature before we go up, okay? Come with me. So a lot of people in the Newport Beach area, on the peninsula, have golf carts, because golf carts make it super convenient to get around without having to get in your car, turn it on, find parking and all that other fun stuff. This actually, and you hear all that noise down there, again, that's construction. That's pretty normal. If you live on the peninsula or almost any area in Newport Beach, homes are constantly being torn down and rebuilt. Homes are constantly being upgraded and remodeled and renovated. So don't mind that. That's pretty normal. But this space right here fits a golf cart. So you don't have to park it in your garage. You can actually park it on the side. It's covered, so it's perfect. Okay, let's go back inside. Let me show you guys the second level. Let's take a look upstairs. Before we do, I just want to point out beautiful hardwood floors, black wrought iron railings, high ceilings, lots of windows, right? If you're in this area, you're powered by the sun. So having large windows, no blinds, and an elevated lot creates the environment that people that live here, that the clients we serve that buy in this area, they absolutely want. Now, that way it goes to the primary, but there's a few rooms over here that I want to show you before. Let's wait for the end for that. This door leads to the rooftop, so stick with me here because these two areas are going to be awesome. But as I go down to the two rooms in the back, I'm going down the stairs again, right? So that's probably a design strategy through the builder because of the elevated lot. So this is one of 4 bedrooms. This property is 4 beds, 3.5 bath, just under 2,600 feet, which is actually in this area, pretty significant size. These homes can be anywhere between 2,300 and 2,700 depending on lot lines and how much you can actually build. But one thing I actually love about this bedroom is how high the ceilings are. The ceilings here to me feel like they're about 12 feet. And that's pretty significant when you're dealing with a home that's just around 2,570 square feet. Cool thing about this room is that it has ensuite style. So it's not only ensuite, but it's Jack and Jill. So you've got double vanity, full stand-up shower, and then if you come around and follow me this way, this Jack and Jill leads to the second room, and very similar. So you've got great storage. Again, you've got the light features and the dark features, and then this ceiling here is not as high. And I'm guessing because that's where the rooftop deck is, right? So in Newport Beach, you have height restrictions. You can't build up to a certain height because there are other people around you that have views that are protected. So in that room, there's probably no rooftop deck, so they could push the size and the height of the ceiling. But here, I'm guessing we're looking at about 9 feet. And so I bet you the rooftop deck is right above here, which makes sense because the door is right here. All right, so we've seen the 2 back rooms. Again, this place is 4 bedrooms. So before we go to the primary, this is another room. So we've got your built-ins here. They're currently using it as a TV room or a game room. It's got an ensuite bathroom. The ceilings here are vaulted. So I'm gonna go with, at the peak, you're looking at right around 11 or 12 feet. So you get a lot of space here. High ceilings really help me feel like I'm not in a small, tight space. So I love that. And then you've got single vanity sink here, stand-up shower. So if you buy this place and you love the fact that you want a second living room, you could set it up like that. If you want an office, a guest room, this could be really whatever you want. And then I also love this. It's like they've used this space here for kind of a seating area, but you can do whatever you want with it. It's just like a little notch right here. And then that leads us into the primary. Okay, this is where the magic happens. This is where the best views are. You will notice that the ceilings are vaulted here as well. So I'm feeling like 14 feet possibly is the height. The windows are huge. The views are abundant. Again, that 3 feet of elevation gain on that pad really makes a huge difference. But again, when you get something, you sometimes have to lose something. And what you get with the vaulted ceilings means you don't get a rooftop deck overlooking the water. So the rooftop deck that we're gonna take a look at in a second is on the back of the property over one of the 2 bedrooms in the back. And we'll go take a look and see what the views are like. But the cool thing about this is that there is a balcony. You get to enjoy that outdoor ocean life. I mean, this is what it's all about, right? I'm looking at the water, I'm feeling the breeze, I'm looking at the pier over there, I'm watching people frolic on the beach and the sand. It is just amazing. It's just an awesome place. And I just love the location of this because of, I mean, look at that huge back patio. It's enormous. It's literally double the size of another patio that's just 1 block over. So huge positive feature about this property. All right, and let's close this tour up with the primary. High ceilings, beautiful tile work, standalone tub. This is a beautiful tub. I love the shower, dual vanity, his and hers, plenty of storage. And there's also a pretty big walk-in closet that we walked by right as we walked in. So again, 2,570 square feet, just under 2,600 square feet for this area that's definitely on the larger side. Although this home is smaller than some of the typical homes that we showcase, it feels bigger than the number. It really does. I'm loving it in here. The light is it's just feeding my soul. I could see myself waking up in the morning, sitting here on one of these chairs, having my cup of coffee, checking out my portfolio, looking at my iPad, reading some articles, catching up with some clients. But this is what people that want to live by the water really want. We got one more part of this property we want to showcase, the rooftop deck. But before we do, remember, if you want to set a time to talk with me, whether it's in person or virtually, to talk about buying real estate or selling real estate in the coastal market of Orange County, Newport Beach, Corona del Mar, you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can click the link in the description and set a time to connect with me. Let's go to the roof. Gotta love these spiral staircases, right? Super efficient, but tight. It gets the job done. And you know what? I was right. So we are standing on top of one of the 2 bedrooms that are in the back of the property. And you can see here that this is the vaulted ceiling of bedroom number 1 that we showed. And the bedroom that was right next to it had lower ceilings because this is the rooftop deck. So they're using this deck to house the 2 air conditioning condensers, but you can actually see the vaulted ceilings in the primary, but you still have tons of ocean views. I see ocean all the way. I see the Balboa Pier, I see the mainland, I see Fashion Island, and today isn't an amazing day. And again, that's one thing that you have to be aware of. If you're buying in Newport Beach, you're always gonna have somewhat of a marine layer until it burns off, depending on the time of year. But guys, elevated lot, 2,600 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, huge back patio, views for days, built 10 years ago, basically new construction, all for under $10 million. Let's go connect with Gabe. Let's learn more about who the perfect buyer is for this property, and we can put a bow on this tour. Thank you guys so much. If you've made it this far, comment below. Let me know what you love about this property. Let me know what you don't love about this property. Tell me what properties you want me to spotlight in the future, because at the end of the day, I love spotlighting properties that are amazing in Newport Beach and Corona del Mar, but I also want to create content that you guys want to see. Let's go talk to Gabe. All right, the man, Gabe Cole. Thank you so much. That was an awesome tour.
What do you think?
I think it's awesome, bro.
Pretty amazing, right?
I mean, come on. We're sitting here on this oversized patio. We're looking at the water. I mean, it's a beautiful day in Newport Beach, and I mean, we're selling the dream, right?
We are. I'm just sitting here responding to some client emails, enjoying the view.
Yeah, perfect
not a bad
place
to hang out for the day.
Absolutely not. So we like to close out each video tour with who the perfect buyer is for this property. So you're the listing agent. Who do you see buying this property?
Yeah, so I think that can be a couple of different people that I have in mind, right? It could be someone local from Orange County in a couple of different scenarios, whether maybe kids are grown and they've left the house, maybe gone off to college, and they're looking to downsize a little bit. They don't need the big house anymore.
Yep.
And they just love the beach and they want to be in this lifestyle every day. Maybe they're going to relocate down here, then bring the kids, because obviously being on the sand, you always get the kids to visit, right? Because you're right here at the beach. Or it could be a second home buyer, right? A second home buyer either coming from California or some of the states that are close by, like Nevada, Arizona. It's an hour flight to get to John Wayne from there. So they could, come in on a Thursday, Friday, spend the weekend here very easily. We actually have had some people from a couple of those states that have taken a look at it. So I think it could be perfect for a primary residence if someone wants to live here full time, or it could be a perfect second home.
And you were telling me a bunch of the neighbors here actually live here permanently. They're primary residents here. So, and that's not super common, right? A lot of these properties could be rentals, but to have people who live here full time on both sides of you is kind of a nice feature.
I sold it to my client about 3 years ago, and that was one of the things he loved about it, because the peninsula, if you're closer down towards Newport Pier, there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of restaurants there, gets a little more rowdy.
Yeah.
And he didn't really want that. He wanted, we've got obviously the Balboa Pier right there. We got the beach volleyball courts, but we are still in the heart of everything, but we've got owner-occupied homes on both sides of us.
Yeah.
Not a lot of multi-units right here on this street, on this stretch right here. So it's a little more quiet, which he really loved about it.
Well, thank you so much for your hospitality.
Thanks for coming by.
This was great.
Appreciate the tour.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you made it this far, give the channel a subscribe, because the more subscribers we get gives us the ability to do even cooler tours in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep living the dream.